Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from U.S. Citizenship Podcast. Every week we bring you practice interviews, quizzes, and the latest resources that help you get ready for your U.S. citizenship interview. Today we're going to continue our series about the U.S. Census with an interview from the student ambassadors from San Mateo Adult School. Let's get started. So if we could go around the table and simply say your name.
Stephanie Kriebel.
And Stephanie, what is your relationship with San Mateo?
So I am the program coordinator for career education, health and wellness, and community engagement here at San Mateo Adult School. And I am the co-facilitator for the Census Ambassador pilot training program that we are collaborating with San Mateo County.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Please.
My name is Marina Zabruskova. I am a SMAS student, advanced level, and also I am ambassador in Census.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alena, Bashko. I'm a student here in this school, also high advanced level. I graduated already from...
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have you gone on to another school or another job?
I'm going to take some classes in college, San Mateo.
Do you have a plan for which classes? Or?
Yes.
Oh, which classes?
I will take ESL, one class, and two in computer science.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Please.
Okay. I'm Shelley Cheng. I am ESL student at San Mateo Adult School and also president in the Morning Student Council. I'm Census Ambassador.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Is there a lot of excitement among the students at San Mateo about the census? Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
I'm Shirley. I'm a student here in San Mateo Adult Education. I'm a Census Ambassador also, and I'm working in the community with mediation in the Peninsula County Resolution Center.
Oh,
I took a class for 6 months. I'm beginning to work as a volunteer in the Peninsula County Resolution Center.
okay. Thank you so much. I'm not familiar with that center. Could you say maybe one more minute about the center?
Peninsula County Resolution Center have more 30 years old organization. They help people in the community, like 20 cities, mediation conflict, like you have a problem with your neighbor or maybe when in the community or within your family, and it's more easy and more cheap than you go to the court.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, thank you so much. Please.
My name is Shereen Lata. I'm a GED student at San Mateo Adult School, and I'm also a Morning Student Council Vice President, and I'm also a student Census Ambassador.
Excellent. Okay. How were you recruited to become a Census Ambassador? Did the president go in to ask for volunteers, or what happened?
At first, in our country, we also have the census, but we have different system. We have some like volunteer from our community and to lock our door and to count each people.
Okay.
But after we took the class, we learned about how the Census Bureau in America, how to work, and we learned how to start to communicate with some maybe stranger.
Okay, very good. You mentioned a class. What kind of class or training was involved with becoming a Census Ambassador?
So first, we have a handout that tells us about the census program, how we can enroll in this program. So we register and we become a part of this program. And so every Thursday we meet here, and we discuss about things like why county is counting people, why they want to know how many people live here, and all those things. And also we practice how we can talk to people.
Okay, so why does the county want to know how many people are living here? Can you give me a good reason?
Yes, because for example, if the community wants to improve anything, I live in Palo Alto, there is a park, but there is no restroom. And if we go there and we ask like, we want to have a restroom over here, it's like the county said like, oh, not many people use the park. Why you want to have a restroom over there? So if we know how many people live in that community and how many people comes to the park, like how many kids are in there, so we can just request them that we need this because it's our.
So you're translating the numbers into dollars or the numbers into votes.
Yes. So if we request anything, we need the government need to know how many people live there, like how many people will use that thing.
So they're using the money effectively. Was somebody coming in and teaching the class, the workshop, or are you teaching each other?
We had special program for training for ambassador. I knew about this program when I went to Smart Center and just asked which volunteers jobs could be in maybe now. And Marina, who is judge in off, told me that it will be special program for census. And then I got information about census, and we met every week, as my colleague mentioned above. And step by step, we just deepen this issue because, of course, we lived in different countries, and we also have different
ways.
Experiences.
Every time we try to compare our previous experience with American experience, it's interesting because here is a very, very strong limitation. You can't be in this program if you are not citizens. I mean, you can't do this job like to help people fill the form or something if you are not citizens. Our job is just remind to people what is census. Do you know what is census? How it looks like? When census will be? Do you know what you need to fill special form and something like that?
Have you been hearing any fear about the census, or some people are saying, I don't want to have anything to do with the census? What have you been hearing?
When I asked to give me information, some people don't want to give it because they was afraid what maybe it's connected to non-immigrant. So
what are you going to do with the information?
I try to I try to explain that it's not about immigration status, not at all. It's just need to understand how many people live in this area, how many money the government will provide to this area to improve parks, to improve housing, public transportation, and so
very important.
And people also can be very confusing. Why do you ask me? And I need to explain every time. Oh, I'm only Census Ambassador, and my job only to remind you. That's all. To remind you that census will be in next year, and you need to fill this form, not more. If you trust me, I can have your information about you, like a phone, email, for in case. If, for example, you want some questions, you can ask me, or I can get you new information and something like this. After this, the people can become more relaxed.
Yes. People should know that the census forms will be available in alternative languages too. One of the questions that was coming up during your discussion was the census process is going to be a little bit different this year. Can you talk about how the census process is going to be different this year?
The people can answer by online and by mail too, and by phone too. I think it is very interesting, especially in Bay Area, because all in Bay Area is high tech. And so I think we will have a good answer, especially online.
Everybody has mentioned pretty much that they've had other experiences with census. Does anybody want to say about their experience with the census in their own country?
They just come and they ask how many people live there and how old they are, and they put the sticker on the door. That's all they do.
And it's a person who does that, okay? How about yourself?
In Brazil, has a people works to the census, and it goes in every house. You don't answer by phone or by mail, no.
But what if you don't have a house?
They use a system, a program, and they have some things. Some like use phone, And everyone goes in every place.
Interesting. Yeah.
In China, we have similar system. Very interesting. For example, in our community, the people who come from the like census, but it's not the official staff. It's the people, like old people. They already retired, but they did like volunteer to do this work, to lock the door and to count the people. And they report this data to the government. Okay. And they collect the data to the government.
Are the people from the neighborhood? Because sometimes you want to send people who are familiar with the place.
Yes. And they know everything happened in this community.
In Belarus, I think it's the same system. One person coming to your house and counting how many people live there and how old are they, and ask about the neighbors.
Going to your neighbors or potentially strangers, does everybody know their neighbor? Not necessarily. But is it difficult to talk to a stranger as a census taker and as somebody who's responding to the census? Is there any fear? How do you make yourself more relaxed? Do you have any, or is it everybody knows it's happening, so it's okay?
Like right now, we are talking to the people, the community that we know very well. So we are talking to them, so we are kind of comfortable with them right now. But we also talk to the strangers. But after we talk, like we start our conversation with something else, and then we go to the census.
Smart.
Yeah.
One of the big problems we have in Milpitas is that we have a single family home, but there's 3 families that are living in that home. And some people do not want to respond to the census because they're afraid of the landlord or they're afraid of housing violations. How do you talk to people and say, it's okay to answer these questions?
We learn here that you should explain for them that the government and anybody will use the specific information. They use only the
combined data.
Yes, the main data. Right. Everyone can search after the census only about the group of the people, not about the one specific question. And it has a law that protects this information.
So one of the things I've said to my students is not about you, it's about all of us together.
Yes. And it has a law that protected your private information.
One of the problems is that there was a recent executive order by Trump that says they're dropping the census citizenship question. They're going to pull the citizenship information from other federal agencies. Are you okay with that? Or do you feel like there's any privacy violations, or they have the information already, it doesn't matter? Do you have any feelings about that, or is that information too new?
Yeah, I read this news. For me, it's the first part about the Trump job descriptions. For me, I think it's okay for me, but I can imagine some immigration maybe think about more things about this question. Yeah, even though this question already dropped, but they're still afraid of
right.
This. Why they want to put this question inside?
Yeah,
maybe some after steps will come.
Yes.
So maybe right now we don't have this question, but I think the import already happened. Yeah, just my opinion. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what Jennifer is explaining, that the administration, the Trump administration, is trying to find ways around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So while the question at this point will not be included in the census, they're trying to figure out other ways to extract that data from other government agencies outside the census.
Yeah.
Because they know, as Shirley explained and that you know, that the data that is collected in the census process is not about the individual, it's about the group. And it gets all mixed up and analyzed, and so you can't get any one person's specific information from census data.
I feel like they're gonna change maybe the first name and the last name. They're gonna scramble it, or the age or date or like that.
Who knows? But because remember that the census data is also available to the public once the numbers have been crunched and everything. You could go to your own computer or your own library and look up information, but all you're going to get is numbers.
Okay.
That's all you're going to get. Like how many people live, let's say, in San Mateo? Maybe even how many people attend San Mateo Adult School? I mean, maybe, right? Or how many Brazilians live in Belmont, or those kinds of. Really, it's only numbers. It's all, but it's very informative, though, because as you're saying, the purpose of the census is, as Alena said, to know where the money needs to go. Right?
Many companies use the same for
Like if you write somebody's name.
Right. That's exactly right, Shirley.
If you write somebody's name, you can get the data, like that person lives in their area, and like people search. You can see.
Oh, and Google search? Of course you can.
You just have to pay like little money and you get all the information. But it's not about just about census. If people wants to take your information, they can get anywhere.
Do you have any advice for adult school programs that are thinking about participating or starting a Census Ambassador program? Do you think it's worth it?
Yes, it is very worth it. It's like, I don't know if all the adult schools have all the immigration, because every country has a different way of counting people and how the government work. So I think it's a very good way to adult school to understand like how the government work and why is it important.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody want to add anything? No?
I would like to have more classes with training, how to communicate with people. Like this. Yeah, we
important.
had a lot of information. We read it at home and we discuss it in our class. But for me, it would be great to have a couple more classes about speaking practice.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
That's part of our outreach plan, right? Working together as a team to do more of that.
I liked our last class where we were practicing.
Together, just us,
together
or at international night?
No. I mean, we had different
group
cases.
Oh, scenarios.
Scenarios. I like it very much.
When are the Census Ambassadors going to be going out into the community in the upcoming year?
We already
started.
We already started.
What was your first event?
On our campus. And also in summer break, we have some more plan about it.
Okay.
For example, in my daughter's school, we have a band camping. So I try to connect with the teacher and the leader of the band and to explain our information to talk about that to the students. My idea, because maybe even though they are native students, they are the children born here, but maybe they don't understand very much about the census.
Well, Census.gov has some great lesson plans for younger students from all levels about statistics and using numbers and things like that.
Because I asked my daughter, I asked her, did you talk about census in your school? She said, it's weird. We never talk about it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Next school year.
Maybe next year.
So what are the objectives of the Ambassador Training Program? We have 3 objectives, right? What are they? Why are we doing this?
To share information, because you need the people, all the people participate. And so you need to clarify the idea, because it's important that all the people that live here participate in the census. I think
that's one, right?
Participation.
Yeah, participation. Example, I've been part of the Facebook of the group of the Brazilian women And so I think the women is very important to know about this.
Yes, absolutely.
So what we work better? We work better in our language. And everyone here work in our group, in our community. I think
it's very important.
How to engage in these people. And our goals is engaging the people to participate.
Yes.
And we use the public program. The public program is built based on this data. So that's why very important to involve people to join, to be counted.
Right, so that's one of the reasons why you're telling people it's important to participate, because public programs depend on their participation. Right. The role of the ambassador is to talk to people about the census, to explain why it's important to participate, and maybe get the people to pledge that they will participate, and
make them feel comfortable and relaxed.
To help overcome the fears and help people to feel more relaxed.
And tell them that, it doesn't have to be like you are documented or you're not documented. Everybody must be counted in. And also, even if you have like bad criminal record, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
And to loop back around to your previous question about what events do we have planned. We just finished our in-classroom training, which was a 4-week program, and then we had our first outreach event at International Night here on June 27th.
Yes.
So our next plan is to meet when we return from summer break. So over summer break, individually, the ambassadors will be talking to friends and family and other people, and because they've created an outreach plan, and they'll be tracking that information. And then we will meet the first week of school to develop our strategy for the next few months together.
So some people were talking about outreach plans. Is it like a commitment? I'm going to contact these certain number of people to talk about the program. Is that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you keep track of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know lots of different adult schools are planning things, but not many adult schools are sharing yet because it's the summertime, right? Is it okay for people to contact you to get further information about your program so they can do something similar in their communities?
Sure.
So what we're doing is, Aparna and I are finalizing the pilot program, and then we will be hopefully rolling it out to all adult schools that are interested in participating. And this will be available for other community organizations.
I can't thank you guys enough. I would really like to take a picture by the map.
Oh, I'd like to remember that I begin to study English in Milpitas.
Yeah, I know. I know this one.
I'm so glad because I think that Milpitas Adult School and here San Mateo Adult School are, for me, very good.
Thank you so much. Thanks to the students and staff of the San Mateo Adult School and the Milpitas Adult School. Please visit us on the web at uscitizenpod.com, where you can get more information about U.S. citizenship, and visit census.gov to learn more information about the census. Thanks for listening. I know that you will be a great American citizen. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.